back, listeners. I'm Robin Black, and this is It's All About Healing podcast. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the 5 stages of grief and how it leads to building that bridge over troubled waters. And then when we experience the 5 stages of grief, it's God's way of allowing us to experience empty in order for us to experience plenty. Right? He fills us back up with him. That's why our deepest wounds gain the greatest wisdom, because God is often growing us in wisdom and understanding through our suffering. Our ego is where pride and judgment live. Through our pain, suffering, and sacrifice, that's the only thing that grabs our attention enough to create a humble heart and humility and understanding our place in this world and realizing that we are here for all of us and how to know and understand his unconditional love. And to know and understand unconditional love versus conditional love, which is what we often experience, minus the love for our children and families. And unfortunately, sometimes even then, it's still conditional. We can get hired at a place of work or start a fresh new relationship. And when we first start to hear, oh my God, I love him, or I love her, right? Then you get to the point where you ask one too many questions or something happens, and then that inferiority complex starts to kick in from the other party. You're going to see just how conditional their love really is. But by this point, maybe you have started to grow some type of loyalty, right? And where loyalty lies, it becomes harder to see the truth. That's where denial comes in. Then when that picture begins to get clearer and clearer, anger starts to set in. Mind you, all these stages can come and go out of order. You may stay in one stage for a while and even for a short period of time. There's nothing linear about these stages of grief, as healing itself is not linear. And these grief stages are all a part of healing. We live in a world where God allows us to experience heaven and hell on earth. He's so strategic. He lines all the mountains from east to west so we can always see the sun rise and the sun set. We see the birds fly, the flowers bloom, all the beauty this world holds. But when we experience pain, what do we say? We say, this hurts like hell. Whether it's physical, mental, or emotional pain, it hurts. And we often say, this hurts like hell. This is the worst pain that I've ever experienced. Especially as we experience any type of loss, right? Whether it's loss of a loved one, a job loss, or a relationship loss. It's your heart that is going to be crushed. And that is the worst pain. But it's like that pain that hurts so deeply, you almost forget to breathe. But through that pain, they say that God is closest to the brokenhearted, because that's where God lives. So when our hearts are experiencing this pain, that's when we experience that emptiness, right? Because it hurts. It hurts on a soul level. It's that pain that's unexplainable. You almost can't really explain this type of pain, because only God can bring us to a level of being able to have a peace of mind again. No one else can pick our heart up or put our hearts back together the way that God can. And this is typically where the bargaining stage begins to come in, right? Some who have never went to God, they start going to God. God, why me? How could you do this or allow this? God, if you just let me get through this, I won't ever do those horrible things again, or I won't ever, I'll give this up, or whatever you start bargaining with, right? This is a very hard stage because you are in the hardest battle because it's a mental battle. This is that stage where you're still experiencing anger. So it's a time where you want to be mad at God. Like, why is this happening to me? Because we often forget that this isn't happening to us, it's happening for us. But your mind and heart are no longer harmonizing with one another. And you're battling darkness and light. Because we all have a sinful nature and we all have a spiritual nature. But which one begins to take over the other? You're also beginning to slip into a depression stage. We're mourning what our lives would have been with this person or this job. We're trying to make sense of it in our own way. God says, lean not on your own understanding, Proverbs 3, 4, and 5. But also lean not on man's understanding. We start to look outward. When we're trying to make sense of it ourselves, we start to look outward. We might go to family members. We might start putting on music, listening to music and listening to the wrong music, reading memes and going through Facebook and just trying to figure things out on our own and try to make sense of it. But these are only supposed to be guiding tools. They're not supposed to be what we take word for word. We can't look to others and look for answers from man. We have to go to God because he is our beginning and our end. We have to break free from the mental prison that we so often get trapped in and walk upon the waters with him. Just as he gives us opportunities. A lot of people say, oh, okay, well, we don't want to miss this opportunity. But again, just like the word that I did previously before this one it's the false reality of a missed opportunity. When God speaks to us, he speaks to us in a whisper. Even when he speaks to us audibly in a whisper, it's a loud whisper. It's the most beautiful thing that you'll ever experience. But it's also when he speaks to us through things, whether it be through people, because he always uses angels in human form to speak to us at that right divine timing and uses us in that divine placement. But when he does, sometimes it's not that we missed the opportunity, it's that we didn't hear it. But God, he's a patient God. So that opportunity is going to continue to keep presenting itself until we are ready. But when we come against any type of opposition, God is using that to build our bridge, especially when it comes to our enemies. Our enemies, as he says, become our footstool, as they become the building blocks, those stepping stones we need in order to build this bridge over troubled waters. Because we have to remember, God works on the outside of time. But it is us who must pass through it. We are going to come across many troubled waters and many bridges he will have to create in order for us to get to the other side. But he grows us in wisdom and understanding, and it allows us to feel his unconditional love because he never left us through these storms, through these troubled waters. He's been with us the entire time. And once we make it to acceptance, that's when we surrender. We finally move out of our own way and we let God direct us. We let him lead us. We stop creating the resistance and we're able to lay all of our burdens down at his feet. And life begins to have a new meaning because it's his love that gave us a peace of mind. It's his unconditional love that never left us in our darkest of dark times. And through our opposition, he creates growth. We're able to learn from every experience. And sometimes that's what our life's journey is. It's just hey, I'm just going to grow you in wisdom. I need you to understand that faith and trust are without borders. When we have so much ego and where the pride and judgment lies, that's when they say think outside the box. That box that we're so often living in is that box that's boarded with ego and fear. And there's so much implemented fear. So when we're going through the bargaining stage, that's why it's hard. That's why that's the hardest stage, because you're still in the middle of being angry and fighting that depression. And it's very hard because you can go to a very, very dark place. And it is so hard to get out of that dark place because you just keep going down that rabbit hole farther and farther. And it's just like, how do I get out of this? I'm going down deeper and deeper. I'm getting further away from the light than I've ever been. And now I want to be mad at you. I want to be mad at you, God. But that's when he says, again, I'm closest to the brokenhearted. I'm right here. I know you're going to be mad at me because you don't fully understand. And that's why you're upset. But I'm giving you the opportunity to understand. That's why you're going through this pain. Pain is going to come. It's inevitable. It's something that we have to experience, no matter how badly we don't want to, because whenever we're uncomfortable, we grow. Even if we don't quite understand why, right? Because God is going to conceal, but he's also going to reveal. He is the redeemer. Anything that he reveals, he's going to redeem. He's going to redeem. He is the redeemer. And through our desires, he creates these opportunities. And with every opportunity, he gives us a chance. We cannot do it alone. We need him. The enemy, the darkness, it'll never stop coming. Because if it stopped chasing after us, we would stop searching for him. We need him in order to be aligned. Just like the Holy Trinity, right? Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, our mind, body, and spirits are just like his instruments. We need fine tuning in order to harmonize. We need our minds and hearts to be on the same page. And it starts with the heart, it remains with the heart, and it ends with the heart, because that's where God lives. That's when we're in alignment. And that's what it's about. It's about reaching that divine consciousness, realizing that we cannot do it on our own. is the biggest blessing that I've ever experienced myself is I know that my relationship with God, it begins to grow stronger and stronger because I know I have to come to him every single day. Through every decision that I make, through every pain that I experience, especially when I'm going through a battle at a workplace, when we have these horrible bosses. It's not them. They can't help what they're going through because they're going through their own personal battle. Everyone is going through their own battle. And we often want others to just understand, right? I remember writing, doing a spoken word that said, focus on understanding versus being understood. Because once you understand, you won't feel the need to be understood. You're able to just have this intimate relationship with God, and he gives you all the answers. And even when you can't find the answer just yet, it's again, you have so much faith and trust. And whatever I cannot see, I know God will soon reveal it. I don't know what my next step is, but I know that God's going to lead me in the right direction. I know that I can't go wrong because he is my beginning and my end. We can do everything and anything with God. And it's about releasing control. We try to hold on to the control of the outcome. I want to know how it's all going to unfold. But we can't. It's about surrendering and laying all of our burdens down at his feet. We're going to constantly come across these 5 stages of grief. No matter what situation that we're in, no matter what we're dealing with. And again, it's not linear. But instead of creating that resistance, we must try our hardest to keep releasing it. Releasing all of that and laying it all down at his feet. Again, I'm Robin Black, and this is It's All About Healing podcast. Everyone, stay blessed. Again, I'm your host, Robin Black, and this is It's All About Healing podcast. If you're navigating grief, toxic relationships, trauma, financial pressure, or the slow work of rebuilding after setback piled upon setback, this channel is for you. Our community now spans 118 countries, proof that real stories travel and that healing accelerates when we carry one another. Share your story, lend your voice, and let grace turn pain into purpose. Book your podcast in the link below and share your story. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good evening, and good night. Stay blessed.